You know, in the business world, your email is often the very first impression you make. That's why today we're going to focus on two really important parts: how you start your email and how you end it. Getting these right is, well, it's the key to sounding professional. So let's dive right in. Hey there to all the fourth-year AFM students at Instituto Alberti. We know you're all working so hard on your business projects, and your ideas, they're brilliant. So we want to help you make sure your emails are just as great, because that's going to help you succeed. All right, let's start at the very beginning, the greeting. I want you to think of your email greeting like a professional handshake. Seriously, it's the first thing the other person reads, and it totally sets the tone for everything that follows. Okay, so let's imagine a situation for your project. You need to email someone new, a new business contact, for the very first time. What do you say? And maybe the biggest question is, how formal do you need to be? Let's take a look at the options. So here's a simple rule. When you're emailing a new professional contact, it's always safer to be formal. Using dear with their title and last name, like Dear Mr. Rossi, shows respect. It's the standard. You can save the friendlier stuff like hi or hello for when you know the person better. Here's a cool way to think about it. Imagine you have a tone-o-meter, right? If you're writing to a really important new client, you'll want to turn that dial way up to formal. But if you're just emailing a teammate from your project, you can turn it down and be more friendly. It's all about adjusting your tone for the person you're writing to. Okay, let's make this super simple. Here are the right choices for different situations. First, if you know the person's name, 100% use it. But what if you don't know who's going to read it? Well, Dear Sir or Madam is a classic, safe choice. It always works. And for your projects, if you're writing to a whole department, saying something like Dear Sales Team is absolutely perfect. All right, so you've got your greeting. Perfect. Now, the very next sentence is super important. This is where you tell them why you're writing. A good opening is clear, it's direct, and it gets right to the point. Let's look at some really useful examples. Here are some great phrases you can use in your own emails. See how each one clearly says why you're writing? If it's your first time contacting someone, I am writing to inquire about is perfect. If you're replying to an email, it's always nice to start with a thank you. And if you need to follow up, I am writing to follow up is professional and very clear. Okay, we've talked about the beginning, so now let's jump all the way to the end. How you sign off, how you close your email. That's the very last thing the person reads. It leaves a final impression, so you want to make sure it's just as professional as your opening was. Now, here's a really important rule, especially in British English, and it's super useful to know. It connects your opening to your closing. It's like a code. Ready? Rule 1. If you start with Dear Sir or Madam, you must end with Yours faithfully. And rule 2, if you start with a name like Dear Mr. Smith, then you must end with Yours sincerely. That's it. It's a simple pair of rules for very formal emails. But of course, there are other, more modern options you'll see all the time. Best regards is probably the most common one in business today. It's safe, it's neutral, it's professional. Kind regards is just a little bit more formal. The idea is to choose the closing that feels right for your email's tone. Okay, let's put everything we've learned together. We're going to look at a situation that is definitely going to happen in your business project: the follow-up email. A follow-up is simply the email you write when you're waiting for someone to reply to you. So here's the scenario. Imagine this. For your project, you sent a price quotation to a potential client last week. And since then, nothing. Silence. No reply. So, what do? What do you actually write in that follow-up email? Here is a perfect professional option. It's so good because it's polite, it's very clear, and it's not pushy at all. You're just gently reminding them about your last email and the date you sent it. This is a fantastic choice for your first follow-up. Now, here's another great option. This one sounds a little softer, a little more neutral. It's really good if you've already talked to this person before. It's still professional, but it's just a friendly way to ask, hey, did you get a chance to see my email? Okay, let's try a different situation. Again, for your business project, what would you write if you're following up on something very specific, like a purchase order or maybe an invoice? Does the language need to change? Yes, it does. The most important thing here is to be specific. If you're asking about a purchase order, you have to include the order number. If it's an invoice, you need the invoice number and the due date. Why? Because it makes it so much easier for the other person to help you quickly. These are perfect sentences you can use right in your projects.
So, we've looked at greetings, opening lines, how to close an email, and even how to follow up. We've given you the tools, we've given you the phrases. So, what's next? Well, pretty simple. Now it's your turn to put it all into practice.
I want you to think about this right now. What's the next email you need to write for your business project? Who is it for? What do you want to achieve with this email? And based on what we just talked about, what grading will you use? What will your first sentence be? So, to all the AFM students at Istituto Alberti, my message is this. Start using these tools in your projects right away. A clear, polite, professional email, it's so much more than just words on a screen. It's a tool, a really powerful tool that builds respect, creates good relationships, and can open doors to amazing new opportunities for you.